So, hello,
Hello.
and welcome to this now third episode of
Yeah.
Monica's Manic Misadventures. And honestly, let's just go to the chase.
Yeah, fuck it.
Last we left off, Kai had, after returning to the Feywild and encountering what remained of her family, her uncle, and then losing him during an attack on
He's
the,
not
on
dead
the rebellion
yet.
camp,
He's not dead yet.
she continued onward towards the south, where the elven goddess Sehni Moonbow had told her to go to find her objective, the Hunters of the Golden Leaf. Through those travels, she came across three young Eladrin that helped her find her way through the forest, and then led her to a city to collect resources and
Loser squad.
necessary things for her travels.
I mean,
They then proceeded to one of them get caught in the city full of Fomorians and evil Eladrin, and the other two went back to save him. And from what Sahanin told Kai, they all died and are now in Arvandor, the elf equivalent of heaven.
yeah.
And we left off with Kai finally finding her destination, the sanctuary of the Golden Leaf, and being led in by this mysterious Spring Eladrin.
I wonder who it could be.
This mysterious Spring Eladrin that claimed to have been waiting for her. And as such, the golden gates of the sanctuary open, and you are now being led in by this Eladrin into what seems to be this very large courtyard, surrounded by these walls completely covered in creepers, but not in a bad state. The creepers seem to not meld, but only accentuate the stonework.
Does it look like the area that I had my first dream with Carlon in?
No. The area you had your first dream with
Slightly
Corlon
different.
was a sort of amphitheater
Yeah.
surrounded by mist, so that you could only see inside the amphitheater.
Yeah, but I thought there were creepers on the walls there as
Oh,
well.
there were.
Oh yeah.
But
It's more of an amphitheater.
this is more like a courtyard, and the walls surrounding it are covered with creepers. And as you advance, you see this massive keep, but it's made of stone. But something is just so slightly off that makes it meld with the nature around it. Sort of look at it, and you can't really tell where the keep ends and all the trees start. It's a strange effect of the eyes that makes it look very nice.
Like a building that's been taken over by the apocalypse, like all the trees.
Sort of, but
Trees coming out
it
of it.
melds instead of
Yeah.
being invasive. It melds very well.
Okay.
And as you're being led in by this somewhat tall but still shorter than
Oh,
you,
considerably.
strutting elf, what do you do?
How long have you been following me? I'm guessing you said you were expecting me, so.
Yes, we were. And she speaks to you without turning back as she struts forward with her high stilettos,
Yeah.
which somehow work in the forest. You don't understand how, but they work. Yes, I personally have been watching you for a while. The Queen has taken some interest in you for some time.
But why though?
Her ways are a mystery to all of us, dear.
Fair enough. So how long? Or just some time, or?
It all depends how you're measuring time, because time here has been far different from time where you were.
Exactly. So, in other words, you had about a 2-year gap. You didn't see her hide nor hear of me, I'm assuming. And, you followed me before that? Or?
So she turns back, and you see this smile on her face as she just keeps walking.
Oh, well, that's a bit creepy. Right, How did no one notice you if you were following me?
Well, we hunters tend to do that. We blend into the background. We are only seen when we wish to be seen.
Right. Okay. That's cool. That's really cool. How do you do that? Okay.
At that point, you guys have crossed the courtyard and you're in front of these massive, very intricately carved wooden doors, sort of like this tree-like pattern going up all of them and expanding into the canopy over the top of the wall, over the top of the doors. They open without even nobody touching the doors, just kind of open as you guys approach.
Cool.
And you're greeted with this massive hall, something along the lines of what would be the main sort of central hall of a cathedral, with like very tall archways and like stained glass windows. Sort of there's multiple, not seats, but there seem to be kind of like sitting areas, but they're not benches. There seem to be like sort of cushions on the floor or small chairs. Very comfortable looking. And on the far end, sort of standing where normally the priest would stand in church, is this massive statue that you can't really make out, but there's a couple things you can. A very tall, probably very slender figure, kind of like doing this pose with a hand upward, with a very long dress and what seems to be very large butterfly-like wings sprouting from her back. And this elf just keeps walking forward.
Yeah, I follow her. If I don't say anything, it means I'm just following her.
Just follow her, and eventually she comes to the front of the statue, and you can easily make out her features. The features, you probably you think that it's because it's a carved statue, but her features are too fine to be of mortal birth.
No shit.
It's a beauty out of this world. An unnatural beauty to be said.
Like a porcelain doll.
Yeah.
Kind of like, yeah.
And you see now the statue is incredibly detailed and intricate. Every little like fold of the dress is carved in. Every little line on the wings. Every little mark on the arms seems absolutely intentional. I'm assuming you know who this is.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure she's pretty famous around here.
Around here, around everywhere.
Yeah, it's Titania.
Our great queen.
Yeah.
And here is her sanctuary. Not that she visits often anymore. Far too busy, other matters, but
Okay.
we are her army, the hunters of the golden leaf. Wherever we go, her will comes with us.
So are you part of the Sealy court?
Yes and no. We're still elf. We're still Eladrin. We're still mortals. But some of us have visited the Sealy court, yes. Not myself.
Okay.
Well, I am one of the captains of the order. I myself haven't gone there yet. I hope to go at some point in my life, though.
I don't.
Well, not that you ever get a chance.
I don't. Even if I got the chance, I don't think I'd really want to if I had the choice.
Oh, not that I know what to tell you. The couple of people that have returned apparently were sworn to secrecy. Sealy Court is not a place for mortals to witness, and when they do, they cannot speak of it. Bit of a shame. But, and she sort of like walks around and now is sort of climbs up these couple little steps into a little sort of raised dais, with a little sort of pulpit there, and she sort of leans over it and looks down at you. I think I already know the answer to this, but what brings you to our sanctuary, Kayane of House Bray?
Oh, well, I have to clean my blood, apparently. Because this means that the king can control my entire family and I need to stop him.
Yes, we are aware of the curse of the seven seasons. Misfortunate
Yeah.
slip in our net that allowed that demon queen to step into our world.
What does she want with my family?
The ways of our queen are unfathomable, but hers, the web is too thick and intricate for anyone to see what her plans are.
I guess. So my uncle was told that you guys can help or something.
I don't know if help, but we can certainly try. So she seems to just be constantly looking you up and down, kind of trying to get a look at every single bit of you. Yes, I can work with this. I've brought worse into better. Very well, I think that's all I need.
Oh, okay.
He sort of starts walking out and starts leading you into one of the side corridors.
Alright.
And as you walk, it's through the corridors. You see multiple doors, all of them locked. Once again, the windows to your left, and then go out into the courtyard. So, how exactly do you plan on, cleaning your blood? What are you expecting we'll do?
I'm assuming cut along a vein and just kind of drain it until red comes out.
Oh yes, that is one method, but certainly not a lasting one. The curse in your blood is far, far deeper than that. And what will you do once the curse is gone? I mean, isn't the curse the source of your power?
Yeah, I guess. But I don't know, I don't really like relying on things. I'd rather find my own.
You've been doing that your whole life, haven't you?
I mean, I have, and I don't like it.
First relying on your father and your uncle to train you, protect you. Relying on Liana to teach you. Relying on that power to protect you, to give you strength, and then relying on those friends of yours to give you a reason to fight. You don't know how to live without relying on things, do you?
I mean, I've never done it before. But
maybe that's the problem. You've never had to rely on anything. No, you've never had to not rely on anything.
Yeah.
So, what do you think will happen when your blood is cleansed?
I'll have to learn.
From what I've gleaned, you'll just become an empty husk. Nothing left to rely on. Your family is gone, missing, or possibly under threat of death. Your friends are in another plane of existence, and you're here with a complete stranger that has just picked your life apart.
Yeah, that was kind of harsh. I didn't like that very much.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not here to make sure you like your trip.
Yeah, I know that. I'm not, complaining. I'm just saying that if you want to make friends in the future, you might want to try not being quite such a bitch about it.
Well, there's a very, very different way I behave with you and with how I behave with my friends. Friends are people I care about, people I've known for years. You are just one little girl that comes here wanting some power for herself.
Yeah, but I asked very nicely.
Well, I'm sure Usurper King asked very nicely as well. Take this sword. It will give you power. Asking nicely doesn't get you anywhere in war, dear.
Yeah.
In war and power and anything, truly.
I know. But it's I want my blood cleansed.
Why?
Less for me, for my family. If I can clean my blood, I can help them in some way, hopefully.
I mean,
If my uncle lives, I want to help him.
well, aside from your uncle, what family? At this point, she's leading you past a turn, and she sort of pushes open this side door, and you see a set of stairs, sort of spiral stairs going downwards. Gestures for you to go in.
I go in.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I do that then.
You walk in, and as she sort of closes the door behind the both of you, because she comes in behind you, torches along the wall, and you hear them going down. Keep walking.
Okay.
So, but why you're going to cleanse your blood, dear? Your family, the little that remains, is your uncle, probably dead or dying. You could have just left the Feywild, gone back to the material plane. The king would never have caught you there. Could never use that power against you, and you'd continue to grow stronger. What is your resolve?
I've seen how he treated my home. I don't like it. He has lied to people to get what he wants, and I don't like it. I know I was taught to hate liars, but it's not just teaching. I don't like when people do that. I don't get to just lie to people and have everything be fine. People are dying, people are getting Fomorians sent on them by a guy that wants nothing but power, and that's pretty fucking shit.
Well, yes, of course, that's the war. That city is far worse off during the war, but what else has he done ever since you've seen him? Yes, true, he lied to your family, he took control of them, but did anyone truly suffer? Were you ever sent on missions to kill civilians or make life worse for others? Whose life was worsened, apart from yours, of course, by his actions? The war only ever started because because Corlon decided to intervene.
He may have decided to intervene, and that, from an outsider's perspective, might be seen as a bad thing, but I honestly don't care right now.
So you don't care that, aside from all of this currently happening, he was a decent and capable ruler to the rest of the people? Yes, sure, he had your family attempted being disposed of. He had his own daughter killed, but I feel that makes him not truly a bad person simply when looking at the bigger picture. So I ask you again, Kayane Bray, what is your resolve? Because for now, the only thing you're giving me is you have this inherent need to follow someone else's teachings and get revenge. And I don't do revenge. I don't teach people how to get revenge on others. I don't use ancient magics to cleanse their body of curses for the sake of killing someone they don't like. So now, and at this point you guys are walking, you go past this stone archway and open into this small sort of torchlit, you could call it arena. It's a round room with a sort of dusty sand floor with when you see multiple racks of weapons, of blunted weapons, of other not so blunted weapons in this sort of central marked circle. She just overtakes you and steps into it. Onto the opposite side of where you currently are. You see she sort of flicks out her clasp and lets her cape fall. Are you going to answer? Turns to you.
This, I'll be honest, this is all new to me.
Oh, I know. What do you think I'm asking?
I don't know what I want, and I don't know if what I want is what I've been taught to want, or if it's what I want. I want to be strong, but I don't know who I want to be strong for. I want to be better as a person, but I don't know why. I want to help people, but I don't know how. I want to make sure what happened to Leanna doesn't happen to anyone else. And the only way I can see to do that is to make sure the man that did it is stopped. And I don't mean kill by that, I mean just taken out of power, because if he can do it to his daughter, then he can do it to the thousands and thousands of little kids in that fucking city, and he can do it all over Evanbrook. And I don't want him to do that, because those people, they're good people. And even if he's using Fomorians for a greater good, there is no greater good that involves exploding people's brains out their eyes. There just isn't. So, I don't know, I met a load of people that are really good people, and I want to be like them, and they would want to stop a tyrannical leader who's hurting the civilians, and at least I think they would.
Look at you, actually capable of some independent thought.
Still not very good independent
Oh, absolutely
thought, so
not.
no.
Getting better than every other time you've opened your brains and let everything spill out.
Yeah.
Well then, we're gonna get to know her like this, and you see she draws a rapier. Draw.
Okay, I'll do it. What? I'll take out my greatsword. Yeah. Why?
Step into the circle.
Okay. I do so.
When
Are we gonna fight?
The moment you step into the circle, if you're gonna
Fuck!
she lunges forward with her blade. Nope, that is not the one I wanted to use. She lunges, not expecting it. Yeah, I'm assuming a 19 hits you.
Just!
Yeah, she just punches through your guard with her rapier.
Oh shit.
Yep, that is 11 points of piercing damage.
Cool.
And then she quickly jumps away from you. You want to try and hit her as she jumps?
Fuck yeah, I do.
Give me an attack roll.
Ugh. 11.
You sort of swing and she just flips in the air, and using the strength from your own blow, flies away from you. And you see she extends her hand. and you notice something tighten around your chest, and you look down and you see these sort of brambles made of light just tied around you.
Oh. Right.
Come on, I thought you were a warrior.
I mean, I am.
Then show it to me. Show me you don't depend on that power.
Fucking fine. In that case, I would like to rage.
You rage?
Yeah, and I'm going after her.
Oh, that's so unsightly. Sure, give me an attack roll.
Yep. 2 attacks.
Sure.
Oh! I'm guessing a 26 and 21 hit her.
A 26 does, a 21 doesn't.
What?
You
How
rage,
does it not hit her?
and the sudden surge of movement seems to catch her ever so slightly off guard, and she just takes the strike, sort of glances across her chest. Give me the damage roll.
Come on. I can reroll that. It's slightly better, not by much. That's 8 plus 6 is 14 points.
14 points of damage. Cool. And you see it strikes her right, and the other one you sort of bring up the strike, and she just puts the rapier in the way, and literally guides your strike away from her. So like she's throwing you off your balance ever so slightly. Oh, come on.
Do I have to? Are we in initiative, or is she just asking me to
should-
hit her a lot?
She seems to be just sort of moving around you, keeping a slight distance, forcing you to every time you attack to lunge at her, to come closer.
Oh, cool. If that's the case, then I'm going to get up in her business, and before she has a time to take a step back, I'm going to try and hook her back leg.
Sure, it'd be in athletics, yeah, try and knock her prone.
Yeah, I mean, I get what advantage to athletics? Because
It's a strength check, yeah.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Oh my god, no! It's
Not kidding.
plus 7.
She's got plus 11 to her acrobatics.
What?
So you try and hook her, and she just literally seems to just catch the perfect steps. So as your foot is passing, she steps behind it and lifts her other one, and she's going to use her own foot to catch yours and try and knock you prone.
Then
So,
how do I avoid? Can I
athletics
use-
or acrobatics?
I'll
your choice.
use athletics. But yeah, that's advantage because,
Yep.
raging. Whoa, 17 plus 7.
Natural 20 again.
What?
I'm not kidding.
Oh my
The
god!
plus 7 athletics, he just hooks your leg, and with a strength you would never see coming from a body so thin, she just catches your foot and literally just flips you in the air. You land on your stomach. Give me con save.
Oh, 19 plus 2, that's 21.
19. As you're falling, your head strikes the floor. You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
That's less. 'Cause I'm raging.
But you sort of shake off the impact, and you see
What
her
was that,
standing.
1 point of bludgeoning because
Yeah,
I'm
that'd
raging?
be 1 point bludgeoning. And you see her you look up and you see her standing probably 15 feet away from you, still rapier in hand. What?
No, I'm just getting started. And I get up and I'm gonna fucking go for her again.
Sure.
I'm going to, can I try and get it? I would like to use, like my knowledge of battle tactics to try and get her up against a wall at some point.
I mean, the circle itself is marked, and it's about the edge of the circle is about 10 feet away from the wall.
Ah!
This isn't a dueling circle.
You. Gross, Harry. Right, I'm still gonna try and like control where she's gonna be going, like using like size and like my movements to try and like force her back
So
to
you're gonna
certain
try and-
areas.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm still gonna take 2 strikes.
Cool, give me 2 strikes.
With the claymore. Ugh. The first one is 14, and the second one is Wait, no. 13 and 14. Yeah, 13 and 14.
13,
yeah.
14, yeah.
Don't hit. Yeah, no, they don't hit.
They absolutely do not
No,
hit.
but I'm trying to get her to, like, go the areas that I want her to go more than actually hitting her.
Then, for that case, try give me an intelligence check.
Can that be wisdom? It's survival.
Not really. It's knowledge.
Battle
It's
tactics.
not. That is knowledge. That is knowledge of tactics.
Gross. 7 minus 1. 6. I saw that.
Yes, I know you did.
I saw that!
Even though it's sloppy, you seem to have somehow caught her ever so slightly off guard that you're actually capable of this kind of thought process, and she's, at this moment, seems to be having a slight trouble constantly parrying your attacks with a rapier, but still, you're a great sword versus this flimsy rapier, and she is parrying absolutely every single strike. Not even going in for a lunge at any point. Except now, though.
Except right now!
Yeah. Plus... That is... 28.
Yes! Listen, a 19 armor class.
She's gonna lunge forward. Cool. 18 points of piercing damage.
Cool, half to
She strikes you, and you feel the light brambles as she strikes you. They tighten around your body, and they seem to increase the amount of damage she's doing.
Fucking smart. I am going to take 1 slash to try and get her as close to the edge as I possibly can, and then I'm gonna try and fucking boot her with my big boot.
You're gonna try and Sparta her.
I'm gonna try and Sparta her out of this ring because there's more than one way to win a bout. And if someone is clearly out with your pay grade, you try and find other ways to get them.
Cool.
So I'm gonna take 1 shot with the claymore. Yeah, I'm gonna use this one. That's 19 plus 7. That's 26.
Yeah, that's gonna hit her.
Yeah.
Then roll me damage.
Hoo, 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 hoo. 15 points of damage.
15 points of damage.
Slashing.
I know.
Okay, I just thought I'd let you know.
You go to swing, and you see at that point she pulls out a smaller weapon, a scimitar, to try and parry it. The blade your blade slides down hers. It still grazes her leg, but the damage has been very much reduced.
Yep.
Now she's like backhanding this curved scimitar, has the rapier in hand.
Like as soon as like the blade goes into her thigh, I'm gonna just fucking boot her out the circle.
Yep. Give me an athletics check.
Yep. Oh, yes. 25.
25. Okay. You go to hit her, and you see her body starts to move backward. But you haven't touched her yet. She's bending. She rolled a 26. And as her reaction, I'm gonna try. Give me an athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
Acrobatics. Listen, no, athletics. It's always gonna be athletics.
Yep.
I get advantage. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. That's 12.
12.
With advantage. That's horrible.
You see her, she drops her weapons and just wraps her arms around your leg. She kicks the other one out of stance, and she just, once again, with a strength you wouldn't see coming from such a petite frame, she just swings you, and you get flung out of the circle and fight 10 feet backwards.
As soon as I get high up, I'm gonna face step back down. Into the circle.
Give me a dex check, because that is how fast you react.
Would it be a dexterity saving throw?
Yeah, dex save. Make it a dex save.
19.
19. You're about to hit the floor.
I'm back.
When you appear and you're on the floor, on the center of the circle. Turns back to you. Picks your weapons back up. Creative. Stand. Gonna give that attack roll.
I'm gonna try parrying that. I saw it, but I'm gonna try parrying it.
Give me a dex check with your weapon.
Okay.
13. You try and bring up your blade, but it's just such a thin weapon, it's really hard to push it out of the way. You see it once again, it sinks deeply into your shoulder. Take 27 points of piercing damage.
No, I don't. I take less than that.
Yeah, because you're raging, but still.
Let me half 27.
It's wearing on you.
I'm a dumbass. Let me take 27 half. So 13?
Yep.
Yeah, 13. Okay. Yeah. I'm on the ground now, aren't I?
Yep.
Is she above me?
She's the moment she hit you, she stepped back a bit to move just
Of
out of your
course she
range.
fucking did. I'm going to get up and then use. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Did she take any damage from my face step?
You didn't see you triggered it, so no.
I have to say it?
It's a choice, so technically you have to.
Oh, okay.
So you stand up then?
Yeah.
As you stand up, you see she's sheathed her weapons and she's muttering something. And that second you hesitate, she finishes.
Because I was legitimately gonna use Spell Sunderer right then. That's why she was hesitating.
She finishes
was like,
and nothing comes projected out. But you sort of, for a moment, everything's paused. But then you hear this wind out of nowhere, and you see the space right between you, the sand and the ground, gets sucked up into something, and you see it's just swirling in the air there. Seems to span the whole length of the circle between you two.
In between us, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
How high is it?
About 15 feet. The room you're currently in is sort of like a small dome, about 30 foot high.
Yeah. Can I try and jump it?
15 foot.
Yeah. But, like, if I get a running start with my strength.
You can jump. Actually, I'm not 100% sure.
See? Yeah. I never knew anything about jump speed until Morgan brought it up. Thanks, Morgan.
Yep, indeed. There
Thanks,
are
Morgan.
rules for that.
There are
but I am
rules
not
for jumping.
super familiar on how jumping works because it barely ever comes up. Casting a spell, there's activity, movement, food and water, movement. Where is it? There we go, jumping. High jump 3 plus your strength modifier. You make a standing high jump, you can jump only half that distance. That is the distance between the floor and your feet, so that plus your height, and you can just put your hands up.
Okay. Okay, running, jumping will be distance then, not height. Okay.
Yeah, or you can try making an athletics check to try and jump higher.
You know what? Sure. And by the way, as Kai's been thinking about this, she has totally been pacing like fucking a big cat in a fucking cage.
The dust has sort of blocked your line of sight from her.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I'm gonna try and jump it with athletics.
Yep.
Is that cocked?
Nah.
It is, look!
Sure, rolling it.
That's worse! That's significantly worse! Yeah, 14.
14, yeah, you sort of take the running leap, but you notice you're not gonna make it, so you get,
Fuck.
hit, you jump straight into this apparent wall of wind. Make me a strength saving throw.
Yeah, okay. I get advantage on that.
Yes, you do.
I don't trust you anymore. Probably should have. Strength saving throw?
Yep.
That is a 24.
24. Cool, then you only take 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, cool. That's half. So
And give me a constitution saving throw because you literally jumped straight into it.
Yeah, it's 3 plus 3, 6.
3, and the dust just goes into your face. You're going to be blinded for 1 turn.
Yeah, give me just a second. 17. I'm gonna be blinded, did you say? That gives me disadvantage, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can't see her either.
I can't see her.
And you hear this sort of rushing wind in an instant dies down. And then you start hearing this crackling noise.
As soon as I hear her, I'm gonna drop the as soon as I hear a vague thing of where she is, can I try and figure out
Sure, give me a
pinpoint it?
perception check.
Yeah.
You're blinded, not dead.
Yeah, 16 plus 5, 21.
She hasn't moved. She's still right in front of you.
Yeah, I assumed so. Drop the claymore, pick up the repeating crossbow, and just fucking fire a
She's
couple off.
still going to get that shot in before that is cocked. That is with. Wait, where's? Sorry, forgot to check the spell she's using. Cool. 22.
Yeah, it hits.
Cool. So, and as you're sort of pulling out the crossbow, you don't even hear the whatever she's firing at you fly. So you hear this massive strike, and you hear a searing pain in your chest. You feel a searing pain in your chest. That's not crazy. You suffer 10 points of lightning damage as you feel this intense burning sensation across your chest.
Yeah, I'm firing off that crossbow.
Give me an attack roll with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
You can't see her.
Why are you rolling so shit today? You're rolling the worst. The actual worst. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter.
You fire and you hear the crossbow hit the wall about right in front of you. Close enough. Not close. Not close enough. But.
I'm still blind, aren't I? For a minute.
No, it would be just for that turn. Now you have this one 6-second turn where you're blinded.
Sweet. So I have a 6-second turn now that I'm blinded.
Yep.
Okay. Fuck it. I'm trying. It's a repeating crossbow, so it would hit her again, right?
You can try and fire twice, yeah. But disadvantage.
And now you're rolling 4s. Yeah, that's a 4 on the dice.
4 goes wide. You hear it hit the wall. You hear it hit the wall.
That was still that turn before.
Yep.
This is the next turn. I still have rage on me.
Yep.
I am going to. Fuck. I don't know what to do. I don't have any healing potions. I don't have anything.
Yeah.
I am going to. Fuck it. I have to pick up my sword, my claymore, and go for the place that I heard her last.
Cool. Then you can certainly try and charge an attack.
Yeah, from charge 2 attacks.
Yeah.
Disadvantage though. That's a 24 disadvantage.
Disadvantage?
Yeah, I got an 18 and a 17.
Cool.
And that one's a 5 on dice. So the first one hits, the second one doesn't.
You charge and you swing twice. And she's very obviously not
yeah,
there
I
anymore.
assume so.
And now give me an either athletics or acrobatics with disadvantage.
Disadvantage?
Yes, because you can't see her.
If it's athletics, would it not be
It's
flat?
advantage because of your rage, so yeah, it's flat. 11. As you sort of swing, you sort of swing a bit wild and you lose your balance from it and you just feel this very, very slight tap on your back.
Oh, piss off!
And you just fall flat on your face. And just like that, you're out of the circle. And sort of at this point, you sort of like open your eyes, and you are in fact out of the circle. You stop. You try and swing right at the edge of it.
Yeah. I'm gonna get
Such
up.
a waste of potential, truly.
I'm gonna get up. And
So you see the sort of light
I'm
faded away.
I'm gonna get up and stand back in it.
You're misusing your abilities, Kai. Yes, sure, you're strong. Most of that comes from those conflicts, though. But your frame, you are agile. You are light on your feet. Try and play on that. Yeah, as you like reaches, sort of steps out the circle, picks out what seems to be a blunted rapier and just tosses it your way. Try that.
This will be no better. I'm telling you. I've tried using this. And I'm just not as good at it.
So like you balance it over.
Yeah!
Well, your skills seem to say otherwise. And she just starts walking around you. She's this one. She's not in sort of a battle stance. She's weapon sheaths walking around you. Second mistake. You focused on attempting to attack. Had you, I don't know, attempted to clean the dirt out of your eyes, you might have seen me rolling around you. Sometimes wildly swinging is only going to make it worse, dear. Be tactical, be thoughtful. For example, I only had to give you a gentle push. You were so focused on attempting to hurt me, then you forgot where I was.
I tried to distract you the first time, but that didn't really work. So I was more waiting for time until I could figure out what to do, if I'm being honest.
The next one, you tried to jump through a very obvious wall of magic.
I knew that! But I could try and jump over it.
You know for a fact magic has a limited duration. You've
Yeah.
literally waited it out, and I could have been none the wiser because I can't walk through it either. And of course, a projectile cannot punch through a wall of wind.
Oh, I knew that!
Did you?
Yeah, that's why I didn't shoot.
Then why do you try and jump over it instead of waiting it out?
Oh, listen, I'm not that smart.
You are, you just don't use it properly. Let's see, what else? Oh, for starters, your stance is all wrong. You were using a stance for a lighter weapon with a heavy weapon. It's hard to get out of training. Focus on what you're good at. Focus on what you've been taught all your life. You had the smart idea, trying to pressure me, trying to push me out of the circle, without actually using wild swings or your strength, but your wit and your skill. Had you continued on to that, possibly, you would have beaten me.
No, I wouldn't have. Would have been close, but the outcome would have remained the same.
Are you sure? You didn't have to hurt me or incapacitate me just getting out of the circle.
Yeah.
Yes, I am lighter than you, but your additional strength gives you an edge in that sense. It's not exactly easy to parry with such a flimsy weapon. Not only I don't have to, but...
So... It's frustrating.
You don't have anything to respond to me then.
With what?
No rebuttals, no I know what I'm doing.
Because I don't do it.
Very well, next mistake. I noticed you very obviously heard, one, where I was, and two, what spell I was firing off. Why do you stand still? Why didn't you zigzag, try to make it more difficult for me to shoot?
Panicked. Defaulted.
That's one issue, isn't it? You panic constantly. You are a warrior. You've been trained all your life. Your mind should be centered, yet it's not. Why?
Because I'm no good.
That's just a flimsy excuse for
How?
people who don't want to improve. I'm not good enough. Nobody's good enough at the start, but everybody can get better.
I'm not centered because I'm stupid. I know I can do better, and I probably could have if I'd sat still and thought for 2 seconds, but I didn't. So I'm a dumbass, and I can get better at that, but I'm not.
I hear nothing but excuses.
So what would you rather me do? Would you rather me blame my teachers? Would you rather me blame my practices? Would you rather me... I don't know. I know where I can improve.
Yet you don't. You have committed the same error again and again the whole time I've watched you. You panic. You lock yourself down. There's a reason for that. Why don't you give it a think? And she sort of makes sure everything's on. She goes out and picks up her cloak again, puts it over herself. Meet me down here tomorrow morning, and we'll speak. And she starts walking away. At this point, you see what seem to be two other spring Eladrin, male this time, with what seem to be sort of not servant clothes, but certainly not the amount of regalia and armor she's wearing. Seem to be sort of lower members of this order, and they start sort of like cleaning this room, making sure the circle's set, putting all the weapons in order.
I'm gonna. Before they start cleaning, you might not want to do that quite yet, unless other people need to use it. I'd quite like to use this if no one else is for it.
I'm sorry, Lady Bray, but the free use for this arena, it's overtime.
There, okay. Don't worry about it.
Special practice hours for the newer recruits.
Okay, yeah, that's all I was asking. Okay. Can I stay and watch?
How we clean?
No, I was meaning to practice for the newer recruits.
Well, unless the captain is planning on training you herself, we'd assume you would join. Although from the looks of it, I believe she is.
Can I join in anyway?
I don't see what's stopping you.
Alright, I'm gonna leave and, where do they meet up for that? It's just outside here, or?
The courtyard.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the courtyard then. And wait for people to start congregating and just kind of wait.
So you just head to the courtyard.
Yeah.
Cool. You sit at the courtyard. See this, or you watch, and it's very nice. It's a very nice courtyard. Indeed. But you wait an hour, 2 hours, nobody's coming. And then now you sort of see the sun starts to come down, dusk, and now you see the gate open again, and you see what seems to be about a squad of 5. You now assume to be hunters, just sort of filing, talking amongst themselves. Some they seem to be A bit battered, but mostly healthy.
Okay. Just gonna sit, like, I don't know, like on a bench or something. Assuming I've been sat on a bench
Yeah, no,
the
you're
entire
saying like
time.
there's a few benches spread across the
Yeah.
courtyard.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay put. Yeah, listen, Kai's not known for her excellent social skills.
I know.
So she's just gonna sit there. If any of them start to like file downstairs towards that area, I might just follow them. I might try and overhear them to see if they hear them talking about if they're like new recruits or if they're like training. Or... We're
Sure.
new recruits and
give
we're gonna
me-
be training in half an hour.
Give me a perception check.
Yeah. Natural 20.
Yeah. From what you hear, they're not recruits. They're not officers either, but they're just foot soldiers. Apparently, they've just come back from a mission involving an excessively large congregation of displacer beasts that had to be dispersed.
Okay. If that's the case, then I'm probably gonna
You see, they sort of gone into this sort of main cathedral kind of area. A couple of them sort of sat down and seemed to, a couple of the cushions cross-legged and seemed to just start what you assume to be trancing. The others have left in a different direction to the opposite side where you headed with the captain towards the training arena.
Oh, okay. So in other words, I've probably missed it, or it's not today, or whatever. I'm going to sit on that bench and
Going back outside to the courtyard?
No, I didn't leave. Just been sat there trying to listen to them.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't leave. I'm gonna sit on a bench and I am going to think about, I don't know, different kind of strategies for tomorrow. Like, rack my brain for absolutely anything I can think of.
Cool.
Battle strategies, how to deal with Dexy people, how to take what she said to me and put it forwards. Having a look at the rapier she gave me and I'm going to compare it to my rapier.
I mean, what she gave you was a training rapier.
That was a training
A blunted rapier. It's balanced, yes, but it's not going to hurt anyone. Unless you attempt to beat someone to death with it. It's going to take a long time, but you will eventually beat someone to death with a blunt weapon.
It's like a spoon.
Yeah, that's the spoon murderer.
Spoon
all over again.
murderer, yeah. Just gonna give it like a flick.
Flick it. You make it dance sort of along your hand like you've done with rapiers before. It's very well balanced. It's very light. Despite being a training rapier, it has a decently intricate guard.
That's useless. It's a training weapon. Like, it's a training weapon.
Yeah, it's a training weapon.
Why have a guard like this? That's fucking useless. If anything, kids are gonna break their fucking wrist on this thing. Stupid. Like, just fucking...
She was like sitting there in the courtyard, kind of like looking at this rapier. You hear a voice. Well, maybe, but it's kind of been the standard since this whole thing started. You look up and you see with this sort of tall, broad-ish for an elf, sort of autumn Eladrin, with armor to match his skin. He's got sort of like a kind of undercut with a small sort of bun behind it. It's a bit of a man bun with an undercut.
See, that's the issue with us, isn't it? It's all got to be fancy. It's all got to be the most expensive. It's all got to be flashy. Never mind the impractical uses of it.
Well, you say that, but I haven't seen a single recruit mess with them. having a weapon that is, I guess, matching, you could call it, tends to give people confidence. That is a big reason why weapons are decorated. At least weapons meant for use. Sort of sits down. This point he sits down next to you. Kayane, I'm taking it.
Mm-hmm. And you are?
A friend. Don't take Al's critics too seriously.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I'm like, she's just gonna be like, isn't that a boy's name? And then be like, wait, I'm in the Feywilds. Just like, okay. Never mind.
Right now, she's under a lot of stress. All the other high-ranking captains left for a big mission, and she was left behind to guard the fort.
Oh, shame.
She's been waiting for you, really, for a long time.
She must be disappointed.
Not from what I've heard.
So is she one of those kind of like, I hate you in person, and then like behind other people, but like behind closed doors, it's like, but not really.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. She word battered your name
so.
brutally
Oh, hi.
while we were speaking of the reports for the day.
Yep.
You've been sitting out here this whole time.
Yes.
She didn't show you to your quarters, did she?
No.
Sometimes she forgets.
That's fine. I can sleep.
She's a good woman. She's lost a lot, and this place brought her stability and a new family.
War usually does.
And she's probably one of the more skilled members of the Order. But she can be a bit harsh. But she was not disappointed, far from it. She thought you'd be worse.
Oh. I mean, I'm pretty bad.
Oh, the reports that came during your time outside of the Feywild were a bit fuzzy due to the time constraints of them. But from what was said, your skills were average at best.
Yeah.
Showing yourself to be a bit better than that.
Not really.
Well, how about I show you to your quarters, so you can rest. It's going to be a full day of training tomorrow.
Sure.
And you will not want to be tired.
I mean,
For personal training with her.
yeah. I can imagine.
I remember my early days.
Mm. So,
So she just stands up.
yeah, so,
You guys start walking into this, the large cathedral sort of area.
So, how long have you been here? I'm just gonna strike up casual conversation. Like a casual conversation, so awkward, bumbling,
Yes,
doesn't
I know.
really know what she's talking about.
Here in the Order,
Yeah, sure.
about 70 years.
Oh.
Alive, about 400.
You're coming on in.
Maybe.
It's not a bad thing.
I've only ever really paid mind to the world in the past couple of years. I kind of locked myself in here.
Oh.
Used to be a scholar,
Oh.
but you know how those things happen. Something went wrong,
They usually.
and I ended up here.
Yeah. What happened?
Rather not talk about it. Personal.
Fair.
Maybe someday.
Yeah, it's good. These things are good to get, off your chest and into the
No, I've
world.
done that plenty with
Okay, yeah.
people that I know and
Yeah,
I spend time with.
I
No offense
assumed.
to you.
Yeah, no, I assumed. Yeah.
It sort of guides you past the cathedral. You see him in the cathedral, sort of like pauses and sort of closes his eyes and seems to raise a silent prayer of some kind. And it sort of guides you in the opposite direction to where you went with the captain.
Mm.
And sort of past these sort of long, kind of decorated corridors, you see multiple tapestries, sort of mostly red and mostly green and gold. Sort of the symbol that is on the gate kind of repeats itself a bit. Leads you up a couple set of stairs to what you assume to be the last floor of the keep. Because the keep, I mean, it was large, but it wasn't super high. But you sort of get to the third floor, and there's another staircase going upward. This way. It sort of guides you down this passageway. What about you? Going to tell me about yourself? Anything I don't already know?
I'm assuming not. Can I the house? No, pretty much.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, you guys are
all
aware.
that.
Yeah, there's none else really you need to know. Not
Well, in
really.
any case. And she sort of stops in front of this pretty basic wooden door.
Cheers.
Remember, don't take her words too harshly.
Oh yeah, I know.
She just wants you to improve.
Yeah.
I mean, you are essentially a chosen of two gods.
Two.
Yes.
Oh, Sahanine. Has she chosen me?
I mean, I don't know anyone else she's directly spoken with.
I thought she was just curious, if I'm being honest.
That also works.
Yeah.
Oh, I must return to my duties.
Right. Have a good one.
Training with her starts early tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Don't sleep in.
Yeah, no, I usually don't anyway. So.
And he sort of starts walking away.
Yep, I'm gonna go into the room.
To the room, it's a pretty basic room. A table, a chest to keep your stuff in, a bed.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the room is not any larger than 15 feet by 15 feet, sort of square. There seems to be a small sort of, not bookcase, shelf with some books in it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about as much.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna sit down on the bed.
Yeah.
And just kind of think about tomorrow. I came up with some ideas. Hopefully they'll work. Let's see if they do. I'm going to. Ooh, what's the different face steps you can get from Eladrin?
Different Eladrins.
I know spring, and I know summer. I know autumn is like you can do it and they can be charmed, but elves are immune to charms, so they're literally useless. What's winter do again?
Winter, the winter face step effect. Wisdom saving throw will be frightened of you
Wow.
until the end of your next turn.
Yeah, actually that would be really useful. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. What's the save? What's the DC?
It's charisma based.
Useless. 'Cause I've got +1 to charisma.
There's still a chance she'll fail.
Yeah, there is. Might as well go for it. I'm gonna go dude bro. I'm gonna go key and I'm gonna go winter.
Winter key.
Yeah, winter key.
Cool.
I'm gonna trance. I'm gonna mourn my family.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. In your trance, you try to recall memories from your family.
Specifically my dad.
Cool.
Yeah.
As you're sort of like pulling memories of your dad to you, give me a quick. It'd be history.
Oh. 5.
5. Yeah. They just seem like your memories of your father.
You dick. You've done something to them.
No, I haven't.
No, I haven't. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna go winter Eladrin and just trance. morning, and I'm going to spend the hours after trance setting up my big boy idea. Which I'm not going to tell you until it's too late, because it's not a big idea. It's not anything.
I mean, you don't have to tell me until it happens.
No. So yeah, I'm going to eat my last day's worth of rations in the morning time, and now I have no rations left.
Cool.
Yeah, in the morning I'm just gonna. He said early.
Yeah.
But how early is early?
You just said early.
Fun. As soon as I get out of trance, I'm gonna eat my rations. I'm gonna get my armor on, get everything ready. And as soon as I feel awake enough, or as I've got my full 8 hours or whatever. Basically, no, I'm gonna wait 2 hours after I trance and then head down to the training area.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. If I can get there before her, good.
Sure. At the moment you're done, you sort of get your things. You try to remember the pathway. You sort of go back. You end up back in this cathedral area. Now you notice that sort of in front of the statue of Titania. There's now probably a good dozen other Eladrin. Mixed, mostly spring. You see a couple autumn Eladrin, you see one winter Eladrin, no summer Eladrin.
No summer.
No, you don't see any summer Eladrin here.
None of them are angry enough.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna, as I walk past, I'm just gonna say, thank you for inviting me. I'll say it in Sylvan as well, just thank you.
Cool.
And head down to the training area.
Cool. You start heading down to the training area. Give me a quick wisdom check just to see if you can sort of remember where you're going.
16 plus 2 for wisdom.
Yeah, no, it's in you sort of head down, you go back around this the spiral staircase that leads you down. You go in and you see already there is her and the male Eladrin that was speaking to you yesterday. They seem to be talking. Also sort of on the back wall, sort of opposite to where you enter, you see the two other young males, which seem to be sort of retainers of some kind.
As soon as I go downstairs and I see her at the bottom of the stairs, I go and just start walking out again, because I'm not you need full 8 hours for elves still resting.
No, not really. 6 is enough.
6 is enough?
Yeah.
Okay then. Yeah, I'm gonna just go.
Cool. Sort of pause. You see, Al was just with her back to you. Come in.
Okay. I'm coming.
Those were a 21 perception to see if you were
Okay.
So, don't you have you given it a thought?
About today, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm giving it some thought. I have some ideas, some things.
Good, because I'm not going to go easy on you today.
Okay, cool. That'll be
So
fun.
let's start. And you sort of waves her hand a bit, and you see the two retainers kind of go over to a part of them you haven't caught your eye before, and you see this sort of small pedestal with a sort of dipped in center, and they sort of lift it up, and it seems quite heavy. It seems to be made of solid granite. Sort of put it over into the center of the circle. Turns to the male. Go ahead.
No.
Your hand. Put your hand up. Upwards. Sort of puts his hand under yours. Seems to linger for a moment. Or sort of you feel this very, very gentle caress. Give me a history check.
Holy shit, it's a 17.
17. Just that very small action sparks something in your head. You didn't notice, you didn't really even pay mind to his face before. But now that you're looking at it, something is weird. You can't quite put your finger on it. And it's sort of about to come into your head, and you see she pulls out a dagger and just stabs it straight through your hand. Sorry. Let's it go. Now at this point you see sort of like the bubbling black viscous stuff. Now I guess I have to do my thing. Al sort of steps up. Yeah. She starts muttering something. Titania gives me strength. And she sort of literally puts her fingers, she grabs it, and she just straight up starts pulling. And you feel this searing pain all the way up your arm, and she seems to have, for you feel is, if she grabbed every single nerve ending in your hand and pulled them all at the same time, give me a con save.
Oh, that's a 4 plus 3, 7.
7. You can't stop yourself from screaming out, and you see other parts of your arm. Something seems to burst, and you start bleeding out of your very pores in your arm. She grabs a blade, cuts off what she's managed to pull out. Not nearly enough. Shall we do it again?
Yeah. Do it.
Cool. Starts pulling again. Once again, this burning, searing pain goes up your arm. Give me another con save.
A 7 plus 3 is a 10.
10. Again, and you feel the blood start to pool under your skin again. Start to give me another con save. She's starting to pull on this massive chunk of black and nastiness.
Worse. 5 plus 3, 8.
So yeah, this one you scream out. You fall into your knees. The blood just spurts out of your very arm. She cuts and lets go. I told you, she's not ready. She is. Kai, she sort of leans down next to you and looks you eye to eye. This is necessary. If you don't do this, we can't progress.
Did I say stop?
See what I told you? It's your death, kid. Starts ripping out again, this time with even more strength. Give me another con save.
That's another 7.
Huh?
That's another 7.
7. At this point you scream out, you feel your whole brain just go fuzzy, your vision starts to go red, and your arm again starts dripping blood. You take 17 points of necrotic damage as you scream out. She cuts the last piece, chucks it out. I told you, she's not ready. You see the male lad seems somewhat defeated as he stands up again, grabs the blade and just yanks it out your hand. Cleans it on. Or she cleans it on the floor on the sand and just swipes it away and sheets it again. Without a word, he walks away. I'm assuming you don't know who that was.
He wouldn't give me his name.
I'll take that as a no. Well, then I won't give it either. If he wants you to know, he'll tell you. So, did you bring the weapon?
Yes.
What have you chosen? The rapier?
Do I have to pick one?
Can you wield both of them?
Yeah.
At the same time?
Well, not at the same time.
Then you can certainly try and fight me while constantly sheathing and drawing a weapon, dear.
I mean, you were dropping yours.
My weapons are light, meant for one hand only. You have to constantly sheath and unsheath.
I'll be fine.
Your call. Draws her own blade. Are you willing to continue? I won't blame you if you want to back out after that.
Do I look like a bitch? Also, it's key right now, by the way. Do I look like a bitch?
You don't want to hear the answer to that question from me. So, are you ready? Sort of takes this stance against you.
Oh, you're fun. You're clever. I like you. You're my favorite.
As small pause, what do you do?
I would like to step off immediately. I take out my rapier and try and twirl it to distract her, and immediately also go for my crossbow and try and shoot at her feet.
Sure, give me a performance check.
Yeah. I want you. Ugh!
What?
I think that's a performance?
Yep.
I think that's a 10.
A 10.
10.
You see her eyes flit to it for a moment as you're sort of twirling it. Give me that attack.
Yeah. It's not necessarily to hit her.
Yeah. Then
But more to get her to like take a step back again. Like I'm getting battlefield control now.
You're trying to push her back.
But if I hit her in the foot,
so you're aiming
at
the foot, sure.
Yeah. No, that's 3 plus.
3. You fire and it lands like a good foot in front of her foot.
Could you imagine if I hit her foot? Could you imagine
you hit
such
her foot.
a thing?
She looks down at it momentarily. A good attempt, but
Let's go!
She flicks her fingers, and once again you feel the tightening of the brambles. And as she's doing that, she
that's not fair!
That is those are both above a 19. I'm not gonna tell you what crazy number she just rolled. As she just lunges, and she strikes twice, and for a moment you see 2 blades hit your core. You take 26 points of piercing damage.
Shit. And that's a full 26 as well.
Yep.
That's not.
She knows 21, not 26.
20. Oh, fuck.
Got that one
Thank
off.
fuck. I'm trying to do the maths in my head. Give me a second.
And as she strikes, she pulls back. Come on, what are you waiting for?
I'm doing mental maths in my head.
I mean, where else would you be doing them? Once again, she starts sort of walking around you.
Oh, you're fun, you're clever, I like you. I'm gonna throw my rapier up in the air and when it comes back down, attempt to kick it in between her legs, and when it gets there, I would like to rage and take out the claymore.
Sure. Give me another performance check.
Woo. I mean, I'm not trying to distract her with on that one. I'm just trying to fucking kick it.
Still sort of a
Please.
distraction.
No! That's 4 plus 1.
Yeah, so you're like
5.
throwing the rapier. You sort of try to stay focused on her, but your eye kind of follow it for a moment. And as you're following it, you see the rapier gets struck by something you don't see. It flies backwards.
Where does it land?
Like out of the circle. Sticks on the ground. You look back at it and she's literally got an arrow right between your eyes. Why are you looking away from me?
Because I'm a dumbass. Like,
You'd be dead if this was actual combat.
oh,
Keep
motherfucker.
yelling, it's not fair. Do you think anyone else while you fight will go for fair?
Nope.
No, they'll go for
I'm gonna
kill.
fucking, yeah, I know, I'm just gonna go fucking get her, like, in the face with the butt of the fucking claymore.
Sure, give me an attack roll.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
That's not, ah!
I mean, she was ready for you. So you sort of go with the butt, and with her nat 20, she dodges under it, and you see she sort of lets go of the arrow, just whizzes past your ear, and she's gonna go for a downward strike on your jaw.
Cool, can I do anything fancy with, reactions or not?
Anything you can come up with that you think might be good for a reaction.
Literally, I was gonna, punch her in the face and kind of, like, can I try and get her with the button as she goes back, try and like kick her further away from me?
She doesn't go back, she just bended on it.
Yeah,
She just
I know.
bended it,
As soon as like her bow is out of my area of effect, like out of my face,
Yep.
I was just gonna fucking either kick her or try and roll away. Either
Which one is it?
I'll roll away.
Give me a dex check then.
Okay. A 10 plus 4, 14.
14. Not enough. You sort of try to duck, but she manages to strike you on the side of your temple. Give me a con save.
Cool. 2.
2. Somehow the strike seems to just be perfectly angled. You feel your whole brain just rock inside your head. You've got disadvantage on attack rolls.
Cool. Right. I'm going to take.
So like you look around, your brain. It's hard to focus your side. You start seeing double.
I would like to take the dodge action.
You take the dodge and you sort of focus for a moment.
I'm going to take the dodge action.
Yeah, that's fine.
This is the worst.
Oh, good thinking for once. She's gonna try and attack you with a rapier above a 19.
But it's
advantage because you're stuck. Because oh no, true. Disadvantage is the dodge action. That is still. That's an 18 actually. I'm gonna you.
Yeah.
As you barely manage to dodge, you feel this ever so slight prick on the tip of your nose. And that was one of her 2 attacks.
I know.
As you
I'm
need
well
to
aware.
try and sweep at your feet.
I'm well aware.
Give me acrobatics or athletics, your choice.
I'm raging currently, so that is a 22.
23 on this side. As you try, you see her immediately. She ducks down with massive speed, and she just sweeps at your feet. You try to get out, but lifting one of them, not enough to get it out of her sweeping arc, just worsens it. As you get swept off your feet and you get knocked and you're prone on the ground.
As I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna attempt to grab her, pull her down with me.
Sure, give me.
Or attempt to throw her. Actually, no. I'm just gonna attempt to grab her, and with the momentum of me falling, attempt to throw her.
Give me a grapple check.
Yeah. Grapple is athletics, so.
Yep.
That is another 22.
She rolled 26 on her acrobatics to dodge it. She's got very good acrobatics. She's gonna try and she just moves. The one thing that was in your range, her arm, she just moves it away and you grab at nothing. And you fall on the ground. And she puts one heel boot on your chest.
I'm gonna.
Almost good thinking, but not good enough.
I've still got the claymore out, so.
You're still using your anger against me. It just seems to not be working. I told you, play on your strengths. It takes a couple of steps back. You're trying to take the brunt of it with your body. Why not attempt something else? Seems that isn't working.
I am going to attempt a maneuver. I am going to. Whereabouts is she on the circle right now? She's in the center, yeah?
Yeah, somewhere in the center, but since you're close to the edge, you're a bit, you're further.
Oh, I am well fucking aware of where I am.
You're a good, like, 15 feet or so.
I am going to use, I'm gonna get up, and I'm going to, say, well, I guess this isn't fucking working, and again, throw that as fucking high as I can.
The rapier that you no longer have in your hand?
Not the rapier, the
Which
claymore.
one?
I have the
Claymore.
claymore in my
Sure.
hands.
You toss it.
Toss it. This isn't working.
Lands.
Oh, no. I was gonna try and kick it towards her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool. Then give me it'd actually be dex as you're trying to aim it at her.
Yeah.
You trying to hit her or just distract her with it?
I'm trying to. If I can hit her, great. If I can't. Basically, what I want to do is I want to try and get the claymore, the brunt of it, in her chest and try and push her back with it. Maybe.
Cool.
If I can get that. Natural 20.
Natural 20. She is going to try and parry that, and I am not kidding you. That is another natural 20. She is rolling amazingly. What would be the total?
20... What? A dex? 24.
24. Cool. She goes to bring it up. And you see, she mostly parries it out of the way, because, parrying that thing is out of it. But it still glances off her shoulder. Roll a d4 for damage for this. Because it is an improvised weapon in this situation.
2 plus 4?
It'd be your dex.
Yeah, plus 4. So 6.
6. Cool.
Really attempting to push her back.
She wasn't expecting that strike, and you see it sort of makes her recoil ever so slightly.
And when she's attempting to parry it, I will take out my rapier, not her shitty training rapier.
Yeah, take out your own rapier.
And take out my own rapier and face that behind her. Like, as she's distracted with trying to parry this massive fucking...
Yeah, sword
coming our way.
She noticed it, okay.
Does she?
I'd roll the number.
Can I roll a stealth?
Yeah, you could try.
That's an unnat 20.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking poof behind her and I'm gonna activate the fucking fear thing.
Give me a moment to check something, because feel there's it needs to see you thing for it. Choice that you can see. Yeah, no. It's fine. Sure, it's a wisdom save, isn't it?
I believe so.
It is charisma based. Natural 1. As she sort of at this point, you see her recoil kind of for a moment. You see it turns. The skin you can see goes paler than she already is, and she immediately swivels back and tries to just jump out of your range.
Well, do it. I'd recommend that direction.
Are you going to try an opportunity attacker?
Well, I'm going to try and, as she tries and runs away, I'm going to use my opportunity attack to try and grab her by the scruff.
Sure. Give me a grapple check. Will be with disadvantage.
Are you sure? I'm raging.
It's disadvantage because you're using it as a reaction, and therefore because you're raging, you get advantage, which means
it's
just a flat roll. Yeah, if I tell you, I'm just telling you things how it is.
Okay.
You apply your own character modifiers to what I tell you.
Okay. Is that cocked? It'd be an 11 plus 7, which is an 18 if it's not cocked, but I can't tell.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
She rolls with disadvantage. That's still 14.
Yeah, but mine was a 17.
She rolled a 3. And she got 14. But yeah, she tries to lunge backwards. You just grab her by whatever loose leather she has at the scruff of her neck.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn around and try and pin her down outside the circle.
Sure, that'd be another shove check to try and knock her prone.
Advantage?
Yeah, because it's athletics.
Shit. That's utter garbage. 13.
13. She was a 15.
Yeah.
She just, as you see her, the color just comes back to her face as the effect wears off. It lasts very, very little time.
Yeah.
And she just, as you're trying to shove her, you see she uses that impulse to just jump. Give me your own not getting grapple check.
So
It'd be athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
Athletics.
Athletics then, cool.
That is a 23.
23. 26 for her. And she just straight up Black Widows you. She wraps herself around you and flips you off your feet. You land on the ground and she's holding you in a grapple on the ground. And
whereabouts am I right now? How close to the edge?
You've got half your body out of the edge because you specifically said you wanted to swerve her.
I've got half my body out the edge.
You have a body out the circle, and you see she's holding.
You know what I'd like to do?
Yeah.
I would like to attempt to do a roll and try and like fucking slam her on the other side.
I'm gonna try and lift her
Yeah.
You're sort of like, if this was the circle, your legs are just like that.
Oh, my legs are like
Yeah.
that? Oh, then oh, fuck. So my legs are outside the circle.
Yeah, you're like that.
Oh.
She's grabbing your hand in a very awkward way. It doesn't feel painful, it just feels uncomfortable.
Shit.
3?
No. I would like to,
2.
Yeah, fuck it, I'm not gonna win. I'm gonna, still try and do it. I'm gonna try and, like, get my leg,
You
underneath me from the circle and try and fucking...
Yeah, give me...
Slam her
That's
in.
just a sheer strength check.
Yeah.
Against her trying to pin you down. It's cocked. What is it?
15.
16. You try to... and she just... At that point, she just, 1, uses her own weight effectively to pin you down, and 2, starts twisting your arm and now it's starting to get painful. I think we're done unless you want me to actually pull this out of its socket.
I'm fucking going for her eye. I'm punching her in the eye with my other arm, because she's got me, like, grappled with, like, you said one arm.
Yeah, one arm.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking...
Before you can do that.
God!
And your wrist just gets pulled out of its socket. And give me a con save first. Because you suffered a lot of psychic strain today. 9. As you scream out, as you feel your wrist just flop awkwardly, very, very awkwardly, and just the pain, you slowly fade out of consciousness.
Yeah, I see.
And as you fade out of consciousness, and you hear this use of muffled voices over your blackening vision, we're going to take a little break.
I'm going to the bathroom minute.
So yes, as we do this little break, we will have a little break.
I fucking hate your Mary Sue hobby.
We will see you lads in a bit. And we're back. So, before the break, Key had just finished the second training session with Owl.
She broke my fucking arm.
No,
she pushed me down the fucking stairs.
She dislocated your wrist, which is very different.
Yeah, I know. Still.
And due to the excessive psychological strain she had been subjected to throughout that whole day, Key then passed out.
Yeah, still Key.
And as Key once again comes to, you groan, you look out, and you notice that you're lying on something plush. Your bed. You're laying in your bed, at least the one you have in this sanctuary.
Now look at my wrist.
Your wrist is currently put between 2 plates and bandaged properly, so you can't move it. Medieval dislocated wrist first aid. And sort of like lie there for 5-10 minutes, and then you notice the door. You hear the door opening, and you sort of look there, and you see the male Aladrin. This time in what seems to be more sort of casual, everyday clothes. Still, pretty tight green with gold clothes, but it's casual. So it looks at you. Oh, you're awake.
Hi.
She seems to be carrying a tray of food. Sets it down on the bedside table. You've been out cold for a while.
How long?
Couple days.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
We were honestly expecting you to wake up after about an hour, but something in your hand reacted badly. And the hand that got broken is the same that pierced through. It's a dagger.
Yeah.
But good news. A lot of the gunk flowed out of its own.
Oh, good. Huzzah. I'm gonna take like a piece of elvish toast
Yeah,
Stop
no,
it.
it's just Elvish. Yeah, pretty much. It's
Elvish toast.
It's Elvish toast. Let's just leave it with Elvish toast. She sits down, looks at you. How are you feeling?
Shit. How are you feeling?
Not the best either, for my own personal reasons. But I will admit, she went somewhat overboard on that
I
last one.
deserved it. I was being a dick.
That means you were matching.
Probably.
Well, your training has been postponed until you can actually use your hand.
Yay.
I'm sorry.
You didn't break it. Well, dislocate it. I've got nothing to apologise about. So don't.
We've used magical healing to accelerate the process, but of course it's not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You should be fine in about 10 days.
Yeah. Fun. So, does Al have any plans for me until I'm able to fight again? Or
Al left this morning. An emergency came up, and she left me in charge.
Oh,
Not of you, I mean of the whole sanctuary.
I assumed so, yeah. Good. So, who are you then?
I'm a friend. I told you before.
Yeah, I assumed that. I don't have any friends in the Feywilds. So, who are you?
You will have to rest. Stands up, starting to
I'm
turn
gonna
to
grab him by the arm. You answer my fucking question.
One would have hoped you'd remember by now. Rip pulls his arm out of your hand. Heads towards the door. May the starlights accompany you. Give me a history check.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
With advantage.
Woo! Yay! Woohoo! 15.
15. Cool. Again, you get the same feeling you had when he very slightly caressed your hand. Something... It's familiar, yet at the same time it's something you haven't felt in a very long time. Memories they rush to your head, memories of your early life. Memories of a time when you were younger and your uncle and your father weren't so constantly on top of you for everything. And aside from the family there seems to be another figure there, but you can't quite put your finger on it. He sort of, once again, looks you up and down, walks off.
Eat some more of my Elvish toast.
It's pretty good Elvish toast. It's
Got generous amounts of Elvish butter.
Elvish butter. It's familiar. You haven't had it since you left the Feywild, but it's nice as you remember it.
Certainly Elvish toast.
And
Certainly some good
you look
Elvish toast.
outside and you see it's morning. It seems to be probably 10-ish. You sort of look. At this point, you're sitting. If you look down at yourself, they have changed your clothing. You're only wearing your arm. You're wearing sort of light, kind of green, green with golden clothes. They changed you into.
Oh, very clever. They do realise I'm fucking blue, right? Who fucking dresses in green and blue? They're just gonna fucking stupid. Yeah, see, green is absolutely fucking perfect if everyone's a Springer Lantern. But not everyone fucking is. Sometimes people...
He was still autumn and he was wearing green.
Yeah, but green and orange works together. It's like, kind of goes like... You can wear green and orange. You can't wear green and blue. You just can't. It's just... Ugh. 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 Like, so it kind of looks like fall colours if you get the tones right. No, the green and blue doesn't work.
Hmm? You're asking me?
I'm not asking, I'm telling you.
In any case, you've got about 10 days of doing nothing ahead of you. Are you planning to do something specifically?
I'm going to spend one of the day. Actually, I am going to attempt to, I'm assuming, like, I've used my left hand for training purposes before, so I can still fight with it.
Yeah, you can.
So that's not as good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna try and, get, like do some training with this, try and come up with new ideas, new methods, new anything. I'm actually going to spend one of the days, I think, in the library.
The library doing what?
Legitimately going to look for any books on, like, battle tactics, anything like that.
Just a question of which day do you go to the library? First day, second day?
Call it the second day, because he would probably, like, spend the first day as key, second day is key, third day is Kai, fourth day is Kai, fifth day is key. Yeah, back and forth.
Changing every 2 days.
Changing every 2 days or so, or at least when he feels like it. He'd probably get bored by, like, the evening of the first day, and is like, right, I've got to fucking go out and do something, and then second day probably.
Yeah, cool. During the first few hours of you just sitting in your room, look outside. You notice a few people in the courtyard practicing something. Some of them with weapons, some of them with different weapons, some of them apparently casting magic. Second day you go to the library, you're looking for anything specifically, a book on battle tactics?
Yeah, like battle tactics, any like battle maps they have, any like the art of war, like anything like
sure, give me
that.
Give me an investigation check actually. Find
Why?
something in the library, because it's fine to find something in the library.
Boo. It's a 4.
4.
Total.
You look around, it's a very big library. It's actually probably makes up a decent chunk of the keep, because just the library itself has sort of a very large room with a second floor, but the center floor of the second floor is exposed. It's kind of more of a balcony.
Yeah.
You spend some time going through books, you pick out a few, you sort of skim through them. They don't really have anything you don't already know and that would help you. And you spend that second day kind of going through the library, don't really find anything. You've never been one much for books either.
Yeah, no.
Because that second day as you're going through the library,
I thought these were fucking worthless.
You notice once again one of the 2 male retainers that were during the training session that were carrying the large not pulpit, the thing with a dent in it, can't remember the name. Seemingly picking up books and reorganizing them.
Librarians. See, the thing is, I don't even know what I'm looking for in particular, so I can't really ask them. I think, like, if within, like, by the time that he realizes there's nothing here for him, he's gonna put away all his books in the places they came from, maybe? I don't know.
Give me an
It's
intelligence
key,
check, see if you remember where they were.
There we go. Oh, that's an 8!
An 8.
That's
you
no.
sort of put the pile of books in your hand and you're like, was it? You put the book in. Nobody seems to say anything. You assume you've done it right. You go to put a second one, and sort of, and at this point you notice the male lad sort of like looks at you and notices,
What?
put them in. You point to an old trolley that says return books.
Oh, okay. And I'm gonna take the books and put them in the return trolley. Just try awkwardly with my like splinted wrist.
You starts looking for the books. You found what you were looking for?
No. And I walk away.
Okay.
Well, I've never really been much for reading, so I don't really know what I was looking for.
Are you looking for anything specifically?
I fucking no. Not really. So yes, I did find what I was looking for then. But it probably wasn't what I wanted, right? I don't fucking know. I'm tired and bored and I wanted something to do and this didn't help. Thank you, though, anyway. You run a very good library.
Well, I don't exactly run it. I was just the one doing the re-putting the books today.
Okay, cool. Well, you guys here, you collective Golden Leaf run a very good library.
If you're looking for someone to obtain knowledge from someone that you don't currently have, possibly go to one of the shrines and pray.
Sure. Sure. That sounds good. Yeah, that'll be fun. That sounds good. Thank you for your excellent advice. And I'm going to go outside and, I don't know, I suppose look for a shrine to quarrel on? 'Cause it seems a bit shitty to go to Titania's, main hub where all of our followers...
Titania isn't a god.
I know,
She's
but
an
they're all
archfey.
praying to Titania.
I mean, you go to the central sort of cathedral/chapel area, and you only see the large statue of Titania.
Yeah, I assumed.
And this isn't so much a shrine as it is kind of just a praying area, which is kind of what a shrine is. Yeah, no, brain, but still.
Alright, he's gonna sit down then with his, sitting on his knees and just kinda... I don't know what to do. Never been much good at this, so, just kinda... try and move the wrist without hurting it too much and just I don't know what to do and I would like help from someone at this point, preferably Coralon, but really anyone. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know what I'm doing, period, and all of my reasonings for it have been flimsy at best and shit at worst. So I'd just like some help. I feel shit. And no amount of thinking is going to help that. I don't know how to get better. And I have 8 days now fucking by myself, alone with my thoughts, and I just like some fucking help. And I know a lot of you have already done a lot to help me, but it would just be nice. And I'm gonna get up from the Titania Shrine and say a brief, again, thank you. And
So as you stand up and you look around, you notice that you were the only one speaking out loud here.
fuck.
Everyone around, but nobody seems to have noticed, because the couple people you do see around you seem to be just sitting, meditating deeply.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave. Just gonna like whisper a brief thank you to Tanya and just leave.
Sure, you leave.
I was more saying it out loud for you.
I don't know, but still.
Yeah, it works for Key. Don't worry about it. I'm just gonna, Key's just gonna get up and go back to his room and do some one-arm push-ups.
Sure.
Yeah.
One-arm push-ups like a boss.
Listen, he's bored. He's sick. He's feeling shit. And yeah. I don't think he'd go down for food if, I don't think that day he'd go down for food. I doubt he'd eat very well over the next week.
Okay, as you're in your room, next couple so days pass, you notice that every morning when you wake up there is a tray of breakfast on the table next to you when you wake up.
I'm gonna, on the days he doesn't feel like eating, he's gonna put it outside the door with a little note that says, thank you, but not today. Like any single time he doesn't feel like eating, he's just gonna...
Cool. With the note,
leave it, yeah.
every morning the tray's still there.
Yeah.
Different tray every morning.
Yeah.
Couple more days pass in, bored silence mostly. You don't really see the male Eladrin, your friend, at any other time. And on the 7th day, as your boredom's starting to reach critical mass, you just said, go to bed early, try to sleep it away.
Sleep away the boredom.
Sleep away the boredom.
Like, 'cause there's only so much push-ups you can fucking do over the course of a week. Like, he's been, eye-rolling it from, Avatar The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
Like, he's been, like...
Push-ups and push-ups.
Push-ups and, like, crunches and shit like that. Yeah.
As the trance once again overtakes you, are you looking for anything in particular?
I'm gonna try and look for that like memory of like the person besides my family. See if I can't think on it. See if I can't grasp it.
Sure. Give me a wisdom check. Just straight wisdom.
Yeah, straight wisdom.
Trance is more of an instinctual thing than anything.
Oh, straight wisdom.
Yep.
15.
15. You do manage to pull in that memory. It's kind of the scene is kind of somewhat paused in your mind. You were there as a young child, probably no older than 10, 15. You see in the background your father and your uncle arguing over something, and this third kind of shadowy figure. It certainly seems to be someone, probably another Eladrin, another elf, is just there in the room as well, kind of doing its own thing. But you instinctively start pulling on other memories, and it's kind of the same thing over and over. Your father and your uncle are there, you're there mostly as a young child. And there's this other separate figure, you can't never really tell who it is. Seems to be the same one every time though. you're sort of sifting through these memories, this deep sea of your own recalls. You slowly wake up and open your eyes, sort of look around, and you are once again in this deeply fog-covered amphitheater.
Oh!
Look around and you're lying on the ground on the grass, still in the same green clothes.
Ugh.
And again, you're in this large amphitheater
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit
with
up.
little
I'm gonna
ruins of and vine-covered stones in the center of this the arena of it.
I'm gonna sit up. Just.
So you sit up, and sitting there, again on top of one of the rocks is a figure you recognize with this long, kind of flowy, multicolored but at the same time no color robe, and his extremely androgynous features is Coralon, the primary elven god, visiting you for I believe this is the third time. So it's just sort of sitting, looking at you.
Hi.
Hey!
How goes it?
Hello, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah, it's going fine. It's going great. It's going fine. Things are fine.
You do realize I'm watching you constantly, right? I know how things are going.
Yeah, they're not going good.
Absolutely not.
No. Yeah, I'm not just bored, but I'm bored, and also, I don't know what's happening.
I see you still haven't cleansed it from your body, have they?
They were trying to.
It's a bit too much for your body to take.
I'm not good enough yet.
You keep saying that, like there is a measure on how good someone is for things. What is good enough?
God, I don't know.
Then you better figure it out fast, because time is running out.
Why did you pick my family?
A whim, mostly.
I assume so.
Mostly despite that's spider. She was playing around when she shouldn't, and I thought, well, let's make her not able to anymore.
Mm.
Oh, by the way, don't get me wrong, you're not disappointing me. Not me, anyway.
No.
But at this rate, you're not going to make it.
Make it for what? What's happening?
Did you notice
What's what?
when you came in to the Feywild, your power stopped working?
I mean, I thought that was the sword.
Your power stopped working before the sword, didn't it?
I didn't use them until then. I thought they were fine.
Were they? Were they really? So look at your hand and you still have the scar of the getting stabbed straight through. He sort of stands up. Time is running out, and he sort of reaches into his robe and pulls out what you assume is something you've seen before, but in a very different form. It's a crystal ball. The last one you saw wasn't the shape of an eye.
Yeah.
This one's just clear, and Conan just blows on it, and the mist inside it just fades away. You can literally flow out of of the sphere, and you see the figure of your uncle on top of a stage, hanging from 2 poles by chains. The sort of the quote unquote camera, the visor just pans around. You see his back is completely covered with lashes. His hair, his non-existent hair. Damn it! I always forget he's bald.
He's bald.
His completely bald head, just covered in sweat. His clothes ripped. He's naked from the waist up. I mean, from waist down. He's just wearing some very rough, basic pants. You see coming up, stepping up from him, is another one of those masked winter ladrin, one of those assassins with a very long whip, and as he strikes it, you notice that the tip shimmers ever so slightly, has a little edge of metal there, and strikes, and your uncle just groans in pain, and the image just fades. Every day since they captured him, I don't understand how that man is still alive, honestly. I mean, eventually he's going to give in.
How long do I have?
I don't know. A time. Maybe he'll never give in. Maybe he'll do tomorrow. Who knows? I'm gonna give you a little bit of guidance, dear, although Sanin did make me promise not to. But you know, promises are there to be bent and danced around. Try to keep your friends close, dear. As close as you can. You may find out the more than they seem.
Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. Okay. I'll try and be quick.
No pressure though.
Okay, bye.
And the image of the costume just fades around you and suddenly you're falling. It seems to just fade out and you're falling in darkness.
Fuck.
Falling around you.
Okay. Fuck. Can I try and see anything?
Sure, but it's pitch black around you. You look around, you see nothing. Till eventually you hit something. Not something hard though. It's something that bounces with your weight. And you bounces upward, but you stay stuck to it. You should pull. You're not managing to get out.
Okay. I'm gonna try and grab what has got me and try and rip.
Your tablet hand is you can't grab.
Can I try with this one?
Yeah, give me a strength check.
Yeah. 14 plus strength check, or can I use athletics?
Yeah, athletics is fine.
Okay, yeah, that's 27 then.
27?
Yeah, 14 plus 7.
That's
No, 23.
21.
21?
14
yeah,
plus 7 is 21, Monica. Then you feel it ripping. But then whatever this thing jumps at your hand, wraps around, pulls it back down.
Right, you fucking bitch, what do you want?
You feel the shaking ever so slightly under the weight of whatever is trying to walk closer to you.
This is supposed to be some big, you're the fly, I'm the spider shit. I'm sick of it, and I don't want to fucking hear it.
And you hear now the one thing that does come into view. You first see, seems to be this, just a torso of what you recognize to be a drow.
Yeah.
A very good looking drow overall. I'm assuming, you understand what this is, her arms just, and now it's body, and now you see from her waist down, her torso isn't humanoid anymore. She's just got this massive, bulging spider body.
I mean, that's always you, isn't it? Coralon comes and you follow not too far behind, do you? Everything you do for him. You're not half obvious.
her hand has either this gauntlet or her hand is just like that. Her fingers just end in claws.
Yeah, no, I'm not fucking having it.
Puts one of them in your chest and starts pressing down, and you feel it punch through your skin and start to go through. Take 10 points of piercing damage.
From 57. So that's 47.
Do not tempt me, little gnat, or I will kill you here and now.
Why are you here then?
Just keep pushing. Whoop! 14 points of another piercing damage. No. You shut up and I speak. Pulls her finger and you see it's covered in this thick black goop. She flicks it. You are proving to be a thorn in my side. I don't like to have thorns in my side. Do you seriously want to die? That much of a death wish you have?
Well, I'd rather not die, but you've told me not to speak, so...
Come to offer you a deal.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do the...
So like you see,
Yeah, I'm gonna continue.
Seems to grab space itself and she starts weaving stuff out of darkness and eventually sort of weaves into an image. And you know, and you see, this seems to be an image of the material plane. It seems to be a forest. And there you notice Alfred holding Dawnbringer, talking to it with his brother next to him, Edvard the Paladin. This is easy, dear. Don't fight me. Don't. Let my little servant do as he pleases and either go back to the material plane or die for all I care. You could even die. You could even let me kill you now, and the suffering give me your soul to savor while I plan everything. And he doesn't die. And you see, and just in case you don't believe me, and you see Dawnbringer that Alfred is currently holding, it goes from gold to just thick black, and he looks at it surprised. And the energy starts to seep out and start to cover his hand. You see Alfred, you don't have any sound, but he falls onto his knees and starts screaming in pain, trying to let go of Dawnbringer, but just not able to. It's like, Law just moves her hand a bit, and it fades, and the blackness disappears. And then the image fades out of existence. So.
Why do you care so much? Why do you care?
I have plans, dear. And they involve you not messing with what I have here.
All things considered, maybe you should have thought about that before you fucked with my family.
That was more of a side effect. I didn't choose your family.
I mean, you did.
He did.
Yeah.
I only gave him the sword.
I mean, you could have given us the sword, couldn't you?
Would you have followed through with my
No!
See, that's my point. So like one of her, I mean, just her fingers are just about as thick as your arms. So her claw she just puts it against your face. Ah, such a shame to ruin it. But, so, answer me, Kayane of House Bray, do we have a deal?
So, what do you want me to do? You want me to...
Sit still.
Sit still and die?
Do nothing.
Do nothing?
Or go back to the material plane, I don't care. You're going to die either way. Don't care where you die. You can die now and save yourself the suffering. or go back and die with everyone else among screams of pain. I will not hesitate, dear, to rip your very heart out and devour it in front of you. But I don't have to. And I don't do things I don't have to do.
So you're trying to tell me you're in Dawnbringer?
Well, I'm not telling you that, but I'm also not telling you.
Okay, good.
So fun to play around with mortals.
You two really are alike. You'd have made a great couple, you know that?
We were for some time.
I imagine so, yes. Just, things happen and people change.
My maker, my father, my lover.
That's so fucking weird.
We're gods, don't try to judge
It's
us.
so weird.
But then he decided that my ideas were too strange for him. The only reason you currently have that body is because I chose so. You just really want to pull my threads, don't you?
Not particularly, I'm just having a conversation. Making light conversation,
Well, you're not the only one. He's not the only one I have access to, right? Maybe you'd prefer me. And she sort of rips it all tearing out, and you see Ugg sort of walking along a path, seemingly surrounded by a caravan of people, and trailing behind him is this tall, muscular, blonde woman in sort of tied up.
God, he's so fucking weird. God, he's so fucking weird. Why?
He entertains me. Always fun to watch. Maybe you'd prefer him. And again, you see Varys walking along a road, and seemingly a halfling walking next to him. So they seem to be engaged in conversation. Oh, maybe not him, but well, I'm assuming you know who I'm talking about.
Don't you fucking dare.
Then do we have a deal, Kayane? Are you going to stay put? Should I just take that as a yes?
How close is she to me right now?
Oh, she's just sort of hanging over you. You spit at her. Cool.
Fuck.
It could have been so great. If you had agreed, I might have even taken pity on you and your friends. Let you guys off. Put you somewhere else while your world burns to ashes. But now... flicks it. It's over. And so are you. And you see her hand start reaching down, and you feel her claw start sinking into your chest. Goodbye, Kayane. And you see your hand start closing, and you feel this massive searing pain that just grips your heart and starts pulling. And you hear this disgusting, nasty tearing sound. As she pulls, you're still beating hard out, still connected to your body. And she just crushes it, and you come back to on your bed. You claw at your chest, the lingering pain is still there. And you see standing over you is again the male Eladrin. He seems to be breathing hard. What's going on?
Can you get this out of me?
I can try, but...
Do it now!
But your body...
Don't give a fuck! Do it!
Fine. Come with me. Sir starts once again leading you down towards the cellar, the sort of arena area. You were out for 2 days. What was happening?
I spat in Loth's face.
You were always dense, but never to that extent. Anyhow, sort of leads you down to this cellar. Can't do that one. Not to the other one.
Okay.
Put your hand, takes out the same dagger, and just sinks it into your hand. I'm not as skilled as Al is, but I can try my best. And you see once again, the black gunk starts flooding out. She picks at it and starts pulling. Give me a con save.
No, that's not 3. It's 4 plus 2, 6.
6 starts pulling. You take 14 points of necrotic damage.
After all the damage that Loth done to me, yeah? Still? Oh.
And you groan once again. Blood starts seeping out of your pores. And you see he starts to hesitate.
Keep going.
Starts pulling again. Give me another con save.
Okay. That's better. 14.
14.
Wait, Constitution saving throw?
Yeah.
Oh! I haven't been doing saving throws this entire time. Would have been a 7, which still isn't good. This is a 15.
15, yeah, starts pulling. The bleeding doesn't seem to get any worse, doesn't seem to get any better either, but you see this, now it's starting to pull out one big tendril. Keeps pulling. Give me another con save. 7. You groan, the bleeding starts to worsen, take 7 points of necrotic damage.
Keep going until I pass out, and then keep going.
Starts pulling. Give me another con save.
Yeah, considerably nicer. That's a 19.
19. Starts pulling. You can almost hear it tearing. You feel this once again, the searing pain all up your arm. This Malon seems to be hesitating, but not especially because you're in pain. Seems to be in his own personal distress at doing this. Keeps pulling, and give me that one final con save.
That's an
11. You take another 5 points of necrotic damage, and you start bleeding. He grabs a blade, and cuts off whatever's left. It's a decent chunk, but still. I'm sorry, I can't do this. I can't do this, not again. You look at his face, very distressed, very kind of, he's holding back tears. As you're sort of looking at his face, give me another, be a history check with advantage.
It's terrible, it's
An 8. Yes. Once again, something just strikes your memory, but you just can't quite pin it. You really don't remember me, do you?
No.
Then when I have to do this, I'd rather you remembered me on your own. But I can't keep doing this to you. You see, he sort of reaches up, and you see now at this point he sort of parts his hair, but you notice he's wearing sort of this tightish kind of diadem, for a certain extent, or something like a headband. Very intricately made. Seems to be made out of silver or something along those lines. Oh. And you see him take it off, and the moment it stops touching his skin, you see his whole body, his whole frame starts to change, shrinks, or sort of becomes more sort of lean, smaller. His features become a bit less defined, a bit softer. You see his figure, it goes from the typical rough kind of male to a more hourglassy kind of figure. Seem to be changed into a female. As you sort of look up, very confused, as sort of this now female Eladrin, her skin slowly starts to change into from autumn to spring.
Now? Do I remember now or no?
You are right now looking at your mother. Now everything just starts surging back, all your memories from your childhood. You were 5, you were 10, you were 15. Most of your time was spent more with your mother, with kind of your uncle and your dad kind of arguing in the background. When you hit your 20s, and you had your first transcendence, you first saw memories of your current life during trance instead of just memories of your old lives. Something went on, some big discussion, and your father and your mother were arguing. And then after that, you were given the infusion of your Blood Hunter powers. And after that, you remember yourself not remembering anything. Somehow your mother had been blotched out of your mind. You knew you had a mother, but it was off, it was weird, it just wasn't there. And now everything just comes rushing back. She's just sort of like, you're basically on the ground on your knees, and she sort of like kneels down next to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything that happened. I should have stayed with you. But I didn't want them doing it to you too.
I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand anything.
Yeah, I know. I should have seen the music before. When you became a teenager, your father and your uncle wanted you to go through a ritual as fast as possible, but I remember what it did to Croy.
Yeah.
And I didn't want you suffering through that. So something happened. We argued. I ran off. I left your father. I left you. And apparently they just went through with it. They blotched me out somehow. Don't know if it was intentional. I don't know if it was an accident. Maybe your own mind wanted you away from it, away from the pain, away from the loss. But I couldn't take it. I couldn't take seeing you suffer again. I'm sorry about everything. I understand if you don't want to have anything to do with me.
I hug her.
She sort of like inhales, not really expecting him.
Stop fucking talking. We all have this problem where we keep talking and talking and talking and it doesn't make any sense and we dig holes. It doesn't make sense. So shut up! I just hold her.
You're just holding her there. It takes a few minutes, just a few seconds, as you slowly just sort of hugs you and hugs you very, very tight. She just starts crying over your shoulder.
I've missed you a lot.
I've missed you too. More than you could know.
I guess.
there, you see, looking at your hand, there's still some of the specks of the black goop there.
Mum, I'm not going to ask you to do it again. But is there anyone else here that can?
Apart from me and the captain, no. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's okay. Just gonna rest my head on her shoulder.
I'm sorry I had to hide myself.
It's fine. It's fine.
They have a way of finding people connected to the blood, the diadem was meant to hide me. I would have hoped you would have remembered.
Well, to be fair, you look nothing like you do now.
I'm sorry, it had to be foolproof. I hoped you'd remember when I talked to you after you woke up, and after it comes back to you. Let's the sort of like guide you or something your mother told you every time you sort of went off on your own little adventure when you were a kid. I'm sorry.
Listen, I'm stupid. I forget things. So it's not your fault that I forgot. It's just me being a fucking dumbass.
No, don't say it. She moves back and she puts one hand on your face. Oh, you're my little summer lily. You're rowdy, you're adventurous, but you care about anyone more than anything.
None of those things didn't mean that I wasn't stupid, because I am.
So she just chuckles at you and just hugs you again. Well, the captain will come back in a couple of days. We can try again then.
Coron showed me my uncle. He's dying, Mum. We've got him and he's dying.
I know you want me to say something like everything will be okay, but it's war. People die. In these past few decades, I've seen so many conflicts. But I promise you, we'll try our best to save them.
Apparently time's also running out for me, which I totally get, because this is pretty shit. And also, as I just spat in Wolf's face. Why did I do that?
That wasn't exactly a smart move.
I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. Mum, do you know any way to get a message to people on the material plane?
Well, I can try, but the fate crossings aren't constant.
I know, but
The time
yeah,
issue can
I don't.
cause some constraints.
But I need to warn my friends. If what she showed me is true, they are in massive fucking danger.
I wouldn't trust anything she has shown you.
I know, but
She deceives and spins webs of lies.
I know. Why do you think I spat in her face? But still, I want to warn them anyway that, hey, just a word of warning, I totally spat in Wolf's face, so some shit might be happening.
Yes, we can. Right now we don't have anyone available for that, but as she sort of looks, come with me. She starts guiding you. She sort of helps you up because it's a lot of strain your body has taken in the last few hours, and it's getting a bit hard to stand. And she sort of helps you up and starts guiding you out to the the courtyard. And now it's completely clear. It's completely empty. Right now there's nobody there seeing either people are either in the room or doing odd missions. You notice, and you see the moon is directly above you guys. It's nighttime.
Oh.
And you see he sort of like Carrot sort of helps you over to one of the benches, and he gets a few steps away from you, and she whistles out, and for a moment nothing happens, and then you sort of kind of off the corner of your eye see this slight disturbance, this slight movement, just sort of look around, there's nothing there. Sort of look back in your mother and see she's kneeling down in front of something that she covers from your vision.
I'll try and look around her and see what I can see.
You look around and you see she's sort of like petting and playing with a blink dog.
Oh.
A pretty old looking one. I mean, it still looks healthy, but it's a blink dog. It's kind of a Doberman type kind of blink dog. It seems very it seems old, but it's big and strong. And she sort of stands up and scratches it behind the ears, walks over to you. And you see the dog, the moment it's looking at her, the moment it sort of turns to you, you see it goes into overdrive. And it starts charging at you and just starts getting...
Yes!
Your mother tries to hold him back. He just smiles and things sort of like just jumps on you and knocks you almost off of the bench. And you just start rolling. And you start petting it. Starts just licking all over your face. Your mother walks over. And I guess some things never change.
Good boy. Who's this good boy?
You don't. Your 10th birthday, we gave you him as a puppy. He was like, just sort of like leaning.
Such a good boy. What did I call him?
You never told us. You said it was your secret.
Oh, that's really handy because now I don't remember.
Thomas, you'll remember eventually. But
he looks like a Ted.
a what?
Ted.
Sure, I'll take your word for it.
It'll be something elven like Tedadorius Rex or something like that. But his name will just be Ted. Probably.
No. He was like just leaning next to still panting right next to you.
So, as good as he is, can he...
Well, the captain has been teaching me a couple tricks, and they do have a knack for jumping in and out of the plane to a certain extent. So, I can cast a spell that would allow him to relay a message to someone or a group of people, as long as they're not too distant from each other.
Can you do two? If they're separated.
Well, depends how far.
Do you have a map of the material plane?
No, not
Shit.
on me, but maybe the library does have one.
Okay, so I don't know.
When the captain returned after a few years in the material plane, she brought quite a few things with her.
Cool. I don't know how far apart they are, but
Well, it all really depends on the willpower of, well, his willpower. She sort of gestures to the dog.
Right, Ted. How far do you think you could go?
Just nod. Woofs at you.
Oh, good boy! He's a good boy!
You always had an affinity for them. when you were younger, you'd every now and again you'd run off and you'd come back with a swarm of them following you.
Yeah.
You pleaded and begged so we'd let you keep them, but we couldn't exactly take care of that many. So eventually you just thought we'd get your own.
I mean, I can't guarantee that definitely would have helped. I probably would have came back with more after that.
You did that.
Oh, you did.
It was an experience to deal with it, certainly. But I feel that helped you build some of your character.
I guess. I suppose. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, have you decided?
Yeah, I don't know where Alfred would be, but I know where he's going. So I'd probably send him to that one next. I need to send a mess. Everyone else can take care of themselves. Ugg can take care of himself. Varys will be fine. Vernon, they'll all be fine. But I need to send a message to Varys' wife. She's pregnant.
Well, as long as you know where she is in a rough description.
Yeah, I know. I reckon I've been told where Varys' house is.
Yeah, you've been told
Yeah.
the rough area because you know it's kind of a
Listen.
geographical location.
Listen, there's two people who I know for definite have told me where they live, and that's Varys and Alfred, because Alfred mentions lamplight all the fucking time.
Indeed, the bard.
So, basically I'm gonna give, Ted a description of Varys' wife and tell him where she is. Tell him to go there first, and then if he can, make his way from there to Lamplight. And if he finds Alfred, I'll give him a description of Alfred along the way. If he finds Alfred along the way, good. If he doesn't, then I'll tell him to wait in Lamplight for Alfred to show
Cool.
up.
And now you see your mother start chanting and seemingly casting a spell. She's just casting Animal Messenger with a nice fey touch added to it, and just casts it on Ted. Yep. Very good.
Very
And
good.
there's like nudges, and just sort of like nudges into you a bit, just kind of like props himself onto you, like licks your face a bit.
Good boy.
One big dog.
Good boy, good boy.
And then she just like props on, just takes off, just run. A couple times she reappears,
Yes.
and then another reappears, and that's when he disappears and doesn't show up again. Been taking care of him for quite a while now.
Thank you.
Oh no, please don't. It was the least I could do after I left.
Knowing me, I probably would have forgotten to, feed him and take him out for walks and stuff
Well,
like that. So.
Whatever happened to your mind during the process aside, I mean, had it not been an animal and your pet, you would have said you were in love with this dog. You spent every waking moment you could with him.
Yeah, that seems about right. But yeah, thank you for taking care of him.
It was my pleasure, dear. It really was. She seems again to be just biting back tears.
Yeah, I don't know how long you were up for, but you should probably go to sleep.
I wouldn't mind a little rest, actually.
Alright, well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Also, if you hear the captain's back before I do, could you, please let me know?
I will.
Thank you, Mom.
I think she'll let you know too.
Yeah. I need to get this out as soon as possible.
Yes. Well, so you guys sort of walk into the building together. I'm sorry. will see you tomorrow.
Okay. Night, Mum. Love you.
Good night, dear. She just sort of like hugs you and gives a little
Yep.
kiss on the forehead. Despite being a
Yeah.
few inches shorter than you, she just kind of just grabs your
yeah.
hand and just kisses your
And
forehead.
considering, like, is it Kai or Key at this moment in time?
You tell me. For all the things that happen with Wolf, she'd probably just get kicked back into her sort of more basic
I mean, I
form,
think-
so it'd be Summer Kai.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Summer Kai would work. Yeah, still, like, that's about 5'11", I think,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, so, yeah, still, like,
No, she's like probably between 5'3" and 5'5".
yes!
So you just kind of like
I'll
sort of,
lean down for her.
and she kisses your forehead.
Night, Mum.
Good night.
Whoa!
Excuse me. That nasty throat is starting to act up again.
Right, yeah, I'm just gonna
As you head to bed,
head
sort of
back.
like,
I'm probably gonna, be like, and as I sit down into bed, and I'll be like, and now it's time for fuck. Fuck! Like, I just realised I've just destroyed both of my hands.
yeah.
Yes.
You, with some difficulty, change into some bed clothes.
Yeah.
And you go, and you let the trance take you over, and you have one of the most like clearest and most focused trances you've had in a while, and it's you don't even call to them. The memories of the 20 or so years with your mother just flood to you. And you just witness through the eyes of your younger self all the times with your mother, all the adventures with Ted.
Yes. I mean, I'm assuming it's Ted. I'm
Is
just
it?
calling him Ted now. I don't know what else to call him. I was thinking Tim, and then I'm like, no.
No, let's not any more meta than calling a Feywild Blink Dog Ted, please.
I mean, he's a way to go on an excellent adventure.
The Adventures of Ted.
I mean, Bill and Ted's excellent adventure. We need to get another Blink dog and call him Bill.
That could be a good idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you sort of, the memories, sort of once again, as the memories, you sort of sift through a few of them, they kind of fade out, and you hear this voice that says, "I told you so."
I'm assuming that's Coralon and not
It is.
Wolf.
No,
because
it
if
is.
it was Wolf, I'd be straight the fuck out of bed again.
No, it's Coraline.
Yeah.
And as you,
Oh, you're funny.
oof, oh my god, I'm so sorry. My throat is terrible right now. As you let the trance overtake you, we're going to call it a session there.
Yay. Oh.
And just like that, the third episode is over. And once again, lads, we hope you'd enjoy these wacky shenanigans we get into. And
His clothes, whack.
Whack.
His mother, whack.
Let's
His
not
dog,
reference any more
whack.
vibes. But yes, once again, just like the last couple times, thanks for watching and stay awesome.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.